So are you a high income earner and you're interested in investing in real estate, or maybe you already have, maybe you actually have a rental or two, and you realize that these rentals really don't make a lot of money. They do give you the benefits of real estate, right? So you get some cash flow and you get some tax benefits, but they don't really make a lot of money, and they're kind of a lot of work, right? So if you're interested in real estate, but you don't want to become an active landlord, what are the alternatives, right? The alternative is that you can invest passively in real estate, and the way you do it is by investing in multifamily syndications, or it could be any kind of commercial real estate. I mean, you can have any kind of passive investment in a syndication like mobile home parks or self-storage, things of that nature. It's a syndication, right? And so this is where a general partner does all the work, and then you come in as a limited partner, the LP, and you invest you invest in these investments. So the question I get a lot is, how much money do I need to invest, and how long will it take for me to actually cover my living expenses so I too can become financially free? Because eventually maybe you want to exit whatever you're doing, exit any W-2 you're doing, or maybe you're running your own business and you want some kind of not only build a side income, but eventually it'd be great if that passive income exceeded your current income, and then you can exit what you're doing right now. So in this video, I'm going to break down how much you need to invest each year to cover your living expenses, and then you can evaluate if passive investing is right for you. Hey, my name is Michael Blanc, and I help people become financially free with real estate. Let's do this. You're probably looking at alternative investments like real estate because you want to diversify a little bit. And maybe you don't love having all your eggs in one basket. The stock market is a bit up and down and volatile from time to time. It's frustrating, makes it difficult to do financial planning. It doesn't really generate a lot of cash flow, and you got to pay taxes every time you get any kind of gains as well. But where should you invest in, right? And so for you, you're probably looking at real estate. And real estate gives you tax benefits because of the depreciation. It also produces passive income, which is pretty cool. But again, typically you got to manage this yourself somehow, and you don't really have a lot of time to do that. And so the great alternative is to invest passively in a syndication of some sort. We do multifamily, but there's other kind of asset classes as well. And this really allows us to be much more hands-off, or very hands-off as well. Because the general partner, so the operator, are doing all the work, and you're getting benefit as well because you're getting cash flow, typically 5 or 6%. You're getting appreciation, and you're getting significant tax benefits. You get the accelerated depreciation, and then also you can participate in something called a 1031 exchange. So, like for us with Nighthawk, for example, you can actually 1031 exchange into a syndication, which is unusual. We figured it out. If you're interested in that, go to nighthawkequity.com and schedule a call with us, because it's a timing thing, see if we have any upcoming opportunities. But also, regardless of whether you 1031 exchange into a syndication or not, also on the back end, we give our investors the option to 1031 exchange, and that simply means that you basically keep your gains in real estate, and the IRS rewards you for doing that. And so therefore you are deferring paying taxes on anything. So you could play your cards right with depreciation and 1031 exchanges that you're never actually paying any taxes. Obviously check with your tax advisor on that's pretty cool, because the more money you keep, the faster you can build wealth. And of course you can diversify your portfolio beyond the stock market. Now, if you do this, if you invest strategically in syndications, you can actually exit whatever you're doing in about 5 to 10 years, which is pretty cool. And so that's really why I created what I call the passive investor calculator. And I want to show that to you because I create some modeling, and this might be useful for you. You'll be able to download this passive investor income calculator yourself. So let's get into the calculator, show you how it works. All right, in this model that you can modify, I assume that you're investing about $100,000 a year, and you're doing this for 10 plus years. You're investing $100,000, and you're getting a cash-on-cash return of 5%. And the profit at sale on an average annual return from the profit is 10%. So a total, basically what you're looking for is you're looking for 15 to 20% average annual return, which means you'll double your money in about 4.5, 5 years, okay? So 5% is gonna come from cash on cash, meaning that if you invest, say, $100,000, then on average, you should expect to get a check for $5,000 per year. And then the remainder of your average annual return is from profits at the end, right? So typically, this model assumes that the holding period is 5 years, and that you actually roll all of those gains through a 1031 exchange again into the next deal. So there's a bit of compounding here. Also, you're putting the cash on cash back in as well, and you're using that for the next deal. So $100,000 is what you're doing here, and so you can see here, you start with $100,000, you invest $100,000 every single year. You can see how much cash you invested here. And there's no return capital until year 5, right? When you start selling stuff at the beginning of year 6, you get your $100,000 back from your initial sale, and now you can use that to invest and so on. You're starting to get cash flow here, and you're reinvesting that cash flow as well. And so you can see here, bottom line here, if you look at the beginning of the year, end of year, you can see here at the end of the year, look at the cash flow. So it starts off kind of small, okay, but it starts to balloon a little bit. So by year 6, you're making 6 figures, which is pretty cool, right? And so you can see that, well, how much do I need to make, right? So after another 10 years, you're making, $240,000 per year. Now, the more you invest, the more you make, but you're also building a lot of wealth as well, right? So if you hear your net worth is $2.6 million. So the cash flow is pretty cool because that means that you can exit whatever you're doing. But while you're doing that, because you are building wealth at 10%, you're building wealth. And the reason that you're building wealth at 10%, when the average market only goes up by 5% historically over the last 20 years, is because typically these are value add syndications, meaning that we go in, and this could be in multiple asset classes, whether it's mobile home parks or self-storage or multifamily, you'll go in and you kind of fix things up. And when you fix things up and you make it look a little nicer, the rents actually go up. You can force what's called appreciation. So I'm not really dependent on the market going up. I'm really dependent on my ability to implement my value add business plan. Right, so that 10% is fairly conservative because if a market goes up 5% and you're only creating 5% of value, it's really not that much. So typically, if the market is normal, we can typically add 10% just from the value add activity that we're doing here. But the point is this: you can now use this calculator and you kind of see what is my cash flow and what is my net worth that I'm building, the equity I'm building in these investments. So it's pretty cool. You can say, well, now I know if I invest this much, after 5 years, I'm approximately get this much cash flow and this much net worth. And so this makes this a really cool tool, and maybe it gets you excited about exploring and investing more regularly in syndications. So if you're new to syndications, we have a resource for you actually on nighthawkequity.com. If you scroll down, there's actually a free mini course that introduces you to investing passively in real estate education. So if you're new to that, you're like, this is pretty cool, but I don't want more, just access. That's a video course. You just go in there and you watch it. Super cool. If you are more actively looking for investment opportunities, we'd love to have a conversation with you. Again, you can do that on nighthawkequity.com and just join our investor club and book a call with us. We'd love to get to know you more and share some upcoming opportunities.